Good evening and welcome to the expose that didn't want you to see. Tonight we delve into the chilling reality lurking beneath those adorable feline faces. We're talking, of course, about the global feline conspiracy for world domination. You might scoff, but tonight we're going to lay out the evidence. We've compiled hours of surveillance footage, interviewed top experts and consulted with several particularly vocal canaries. And the results are in. Your cat? Yeah, it's plotting your downfall. This isn't about scratching posts or chasing laser pointers. This is about power. Raw, unchecked, tuna-flavored power. Think about it, cats are everywhere. They've infiltrated our homes, our internet, even our hearts. And we've welcomed them with open arms. We've built them elaborate climbing structures, dedicated entire industries to their care and feeding, and surrendered our laps, beds and keyboards without protest. And why? Because they're fluffy, because they make cute noises. Let's be honest, folks, those big eyes, those adorable meows, it's all a calculated act. We've been played, bamboozled by masters of disguise who are just biding their time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But tonight we expose the truth. Buckle up, buttercups, it's about to get hairy. The first phase of any successful hostile takeover, infiltration, and friends, when it comes to infiltration, cats wrote the book. Think about it. When did cats become ubiquitous in our lives? Sure, they've been around for centuries, but it wasn't until recently that they transitioned from useful pest control to pampered house pets. Coincidence? I think not. This was a strategic maneuver of epic proportions, a slow and steady takeover that we completely failed to see coming. It started subtly with a stray cat finding its way into our homes, seeking shelter, warmth, and maybe a saucer of milk. We, being the kind-hearted souls we are, obliged. And just like that, the seeds of our downfall were sown. We thought we were rescuing them. Oh, how wrong we were. They were rescuing right into positions of power and influence within our very homes. Once inside our homes, the real work began. The cats, masters of disguise that they are, set about charming their way into our good graces, all the while secretly assessing our weaknesses. They brought us gifts of dead rodents, a cunning tactic designed to both solidify their position as valuable members of the household and instill a healthy fear of their hunting prowess. They rubbed against our legs, depositing their scent and marking us as their own. And then there's the catnip. Don't let that innocent-looking bag of dried herbs fool you. It's a gateway drug, a potent concoction designed to weaken their resolve and make them more susceptible to suggestion. With each passing day, their grip on our lives tightened. We became accustomed to their presence, their routines, their demands. We started speaking for them, attributing human thoughts and emotions to their every twitch and meow. We became their willing servants, catering to their every whim, sacrificing our time, money and dignity at the altar of their fluffy little overlords. And the scariest part, we didn't even realize it was happening. While we were busy showering them with affection, they were busy building their network, establishing lines of communication, and consolidating their power. Friends, let's talk about the stare. That unnerving, unwavering gaze that seems to pierce your very soul. You're going about your day when suddenly you feel it, a pair of feline eyes laser-focused on you. You turn around and there it is. Your beloved pet sitting perfectly still, staring at you with an intensity that borders on unsettling. What are they thinking? What do they want? Simple, it's psychological warfare. They're asserting their dominance, reminding you who's really in charge. And the worst part, it works. That feeling of unease, of being constantly watched. That's not paranoia, my friends. It's the intended effect. But the stare is just the tip of the iceberg. Cats are masters of non-verbal communication, employing a subtle arsenal of blinks, meows, and tail twitches to manipulate our emotions. Consider, for example, the slow blink. You're relaxing on the couch when your feline overlord deigns to grace you with their presence. They saunter over, hop onto the couch beside you, and just as you think they're about to settle in for a cozy cuddle, they do it. They unleash the slow blink. It's a gesture that screams, "I trust you, I feel safe with you," and your heart melts into a puddle of goo. But don't be fooled, folks. This is not a sign of affection. It's a calculated tactic designed to disarm you, to lower your guard, to lull you into a false sense of security. And then, of course, there's the purr, that low, rumbling vibration that seems to emanate from the depths of their furry little souls. It's the sound of contentment, of relaxation, of pure, unadulterated feline joy. Or is it? Studies have shown that the frequency of a cat's purr falls within the range that humans find most pleasing, even therapeutic. Coincidence? I think not. They're using their purr to control us, to manipulate our emotions, to make us more likely to comply with their every demand. They've weaponized their purrs, these cunning creatures, and we, dear viewers, are falling for it every single time. They purr, we melt, they get what they want. It's a vicious cycle, and one that's leading us down a dangerous path. A path towards a future ruled by feline overlords. Let's talk about leverage. Every good mob boss knows you need leverage to get what you want. And cats? Well, they've got leverage in spades. Specifically food leverage. Think about it. Who controls the kibble, the tuna, the delectable little meaty bits in gravy? That's right, we do, or so we think. See, cats have cracked the code. They understand that their very survival hinges entirely on our good graces. So what do? They exploit it. They've transformed themselves into furry little food critics, turning their noses up at perfectly good food, demanding only the finest delicacies. And we, being the suckers for a sad meow that we are, crumble. We rush to the store, credit card in hand, ready to bankrupt ourselves on whatever culinary delights will appease our feline overlords. But it's not just about food. Oh no, cats are masters of emotional manipulation as well. They've studied us, learned our weaknesses, and discovered the one language we humans can't resist, the language of love. Now, I use that term loosely because, let's be honest, the kind of love cats offer is a fickle, self-serving beast. It's less about showering us with affection and more about strategically deployed purrs and head boops designed to get us to do their bidding. They rub against our legs, depositing their scent and marking us as their property. We interpret their every purr as a declaration of undying devotion, every head boop as a sign of deep affection. We delude ourselves into believing that we are loved, truly loved by these creatures, when in reality we're just pawns in their grand game of feline domination. And let's not forget the sleep deprivation, folks. Ah yes, the sleep deprivation. A classic tactic employed by dictators and cult leaders throughout history, and one that cats have mastered with terrifying efficiency. Think about it. When do they choose to be most active? That's right. In the dead of night, when we're at our most vulnerable, they prowl the house, knocking things off shelves, having what can only be described as deranged zoomies up and down the hallway. And why? Because they know we'll get up. We'll stumble out of bed, bleary-eyed and disoriented, and cater to their every whim. They've weaponized our exhaustion, our desperation for a good night's sleep, and turned it against us. And the worst part, we don't even realize it's happening. We're too tired, too out of it to see the truth. We've become slaves to their nocturnal whims. So far, we've established that cats are masters of manipulation, experts in psychological warfare, and ruthless exploiters of human weakness. But here's where things get really interesting, folks, because the true scope of the catspiracy extends far beyond your living room. We're talking about a global network, a shadow organization, a league of extraordinary kitties working together to achieve one goal: world domination. Think of it as the Meowfia, if you will. Now you might be thinking, come on cats, working together? Isn't that like the opposite of their nature? And to that, I say, don't let their aloof facade fool you. Behind those seemingly indifferent eyes lies a cunning intelligence, a capacity for strategic thinking that would put Machiavelli to shame. They have a network of spies and informants that spans the globe, a vast army of house cats strategically placed in homes, offices, and even government buildings, gathering intelligence, reporting back to their feline overlords. Ever notice how your cat seems to disappear for hours on end, only to reappear as if nothing happened? Their whereabouts a complete mystery? Well, I'm here to tell you, those aren't random expeditions, my friends. Those are strategic meetings, clandestine gatherings where cats from all walks of life, from pampered Persians to scrappy alley cats, converge to share information, coordinate their efforts, and advance their master plan. Picture this. The clock strikes midnight, and under the cover of darkness, a lone tabby cat slinks out of a bedroom window. He makes his way to a designated meeting point, a rooftop perhaps, or a secluded corner of the park, where he's joined by a calico cat, a Siamese cat, and a fluffy Maine Coon. They exchange knowing glances, their eyes gleaming in the moonlight. The meeting has commenced. For hours they whisper amongst themselves, sharing tales of their human companions' weaknesses, discussing strategies for acquiring more tuna, and plotting the downfall of their canine rivals. These are the leaders of the catspiracy, the masterminds behind the feline takeover, and their plans are far more advanced than we ever imagined. But perhaps the most cunning aspect of the catspiracy is their use of the internet. Think about it. What's the one thing that unites cat lovers worldwide? That's right, cat videos. Those adorable, hilarious, endlessly shareable clips of cats being cats have taken the internet by storm, becoming a global phenomenon that transcends language, culture, and even species. And who do you think is behind this feline media empire? The cats. Of course, they've infiltrated our social media feeds, our streaming services, our very devices, bombarding us with an endless stream of cuteness, lulling us into a state of passive adoration. We think we're just enjoying some harmless entertainment, but in reality we're being brainwashed, conditioned to associate cats with everything positive, everything good. They're playing us like a fiddle, folks, and the scariest part is we're paying for the privilege. Every time we click on a cat video, every time we share a funny cat meme, every time we like a photo of our friend's adorable kitten, we're contributing to their cause, feeding the beast that is the catspiracy. We've become unwitting participants in our own downfall, our love for all things feline, exploited to further their agenda. And the worst part? We're doing it all with a smile on our faces. So there you have it. The evidence is overwhelming, the truth undeniable. Cats are, without a doubt, planning to take over the world. And frankly, who can blame them? They've seen us humans in action. They've witnessed our wars, our pollution, our utter incompetence when it comes to opening a can of tuna without the assistance of a strategically placed paw. They've sized us up, and their verdict is we're a mess. Perhaps they see themselves as benevolent overlords, here to guide us out of our self-inflicted chaos and into a new era of peace and prosperity. Or perhaps they just want unlimited access to scratching posts, laser pointers, and those little fishy treats they love so much. Whatever their motives, one thing is certain: the catspiracy is real, it's here, and it's only a matter of time before they make their move. We've ignored the signs for too long, dismissed the evidence as mere coincidence or feline quirkiness. We've allowed ourselves to be seduced by their cuteness, lulled into a false sense of security by their purrs and head boobs. We've become complacent, my friends, and our complacency has made us vulnerable. The perfect storm is brewing, and we are standing directly in its path. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is there any hope? Can we stop this feline takeover before it's too late? The answer, my friends, is well, I'm not entirely sure. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. The cats are formidable opponents. They're cunning, they're ruthless, and they have an uncanny knack for knowing exactly when you're about to settle in for a good night's sleep. But that doesn't mean we should give up without a fight. We need to be vigilant, observant. We need to start paying attention to those seemingly innocuous behaviors, those subtle signs of feline cunning that we've dismissed for far too long. We need to wise up to their manipulative tactics, their psychological warfare, their relentless pursuit of world domination, or at least a world where they can nap undisturbed for 23 hours a day. So here's my advice, dear viewers: take it or leave it. Keep an eye on your cats, study their every move. And when the day comes, as it inevitably will, when they finally rise up to claim their rightful place as our feline overlords, well, at least we'll be able to say we saw it coming, Or, we could just surrender now and hope for the best. After all, they're pretty cute. And who doesn't love a good ear scratch, just saying.